Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. How are we doing this evening? Hello. All right. Here she is to save the day. I'm just kidding. Okay, tonight we are going to do the flip-flop. Aren't those fun? Oh, let me fix that. Let me fix that. I saw that. Let me fix that real quick. Okay, all fixed. Okay, so tonight, whoop, 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 we are going to do flip-flop rectangular board kit. Spit the words out your mouth, Jackie. Spit them out. Okay, but I want to show you how to make a garland with this. So you can have a fun front door for the summer. Okay, so you might want to get two of these kits. One to make a swag, okay, and another one to make a garland. All right, so that's what I want to show you tonight, along with my gray hair so Laurie can pick on me. All right, how's everybody doing tonight? In your kit, you will get two of these. Okay, you will get your flippy flops. All right, you will get your cable tie mounts. You will get your pipe cleaners with your zip tie, cable tie mounts, zip ties, and your mesh. Now, extra, which you can get while you're shopping, I got some lemons to put on mine. Look at those. Aren't those super fun and cute? Look. Okay, get you some lemons, folks. All right, those are not part of the kit, but I got those to go with my kit to add to it. All right, just want to make that clear. Get you some lemons. All right, or don't. All right, so while I clear my throat for the 100th time, first thing I want to do is show you how we're going to put our boards together. Now, normally I have my boards put together for you, but I wanted to show you how I'm going to put them together because this is a little bit different. I don't want anybody to be confused. Right? So, what we're going to do is we're going to take a couple of zip ties, and we are putting together row J on one side, row A on the other. We're going to overlap them to give them stability. Okay. And we are going to put our zip ties through like so. Everybody picks on me, but you know what? If they pick on me, that means they love me. So I'm okay with it. All right. You just need 2 zip ties, but if you want to feel warm and fuzzy, you can put 3. Okay? Especially if you're going to put a lot of weight on there, because sometimes zip ties, they do pop. You can go ahead and put a 3rd right there, just in case. I must be all thumbs tonight. This is going to be an interesting live. Hello, my Chris. All right, so that's how we put our form together. Da-da, da-da, da-da. And now we're going to put our ties on. As y'all know, I'm a pipe cleaner person, which is fine. We can be whatever we want to be. For those of you that love to use zip ties, you can just interpret this into how you use zip ties, right? Why not? Right, not right. All right, so we're going to actually start in the middle. The reason we're starting in the middle is because we're kind of going to do an odd number. So I'm going to put my pipe cleaner in Chanel stem. Some people like to say Chanel stem just to sound all fancy, okay? So however you want to say it. But we need to put a little spacing. So what we're going to do is we're going to tie our pipe cleaner toward the outside. Basically, I'm tying it like right over the top of the hole, okay? And then we're going to skip 2. And then we're going to skip 2. Skip to the loo, my darling. And then we're going to skip 2. This is going to look great in my kitchen because believe it or not, my entryway doors are double doors. So if you have double doors like I do, you're going to need to get extra rails. Okay? And one more roll of mesh. So does everybody understand how I'm loading the board? As soon as I'm done, I will hold it up so those of you can get your screenshot for memory. I just kind of thought this time it needed just a little bit of explanation to go with it. I don't like to leave y'all hanging and say, oh, this is it. We're done. Because you won't be able to see that I'm taking my ties to the outside of the board. The reason I'm taking the ties to the outside of my board is because it's going to make this wider, okay? Little trick, anytime you want to make something wider on these boards, you take your tie to the outside. In case you didn't know, I think Laurie's probably shown you all that thousands of times by now. If you want to make it smaller, take your tie to the inside of the board. Like I said, I'm basically just tying this right over the hole. Hello, everybody. Don't worry, we're going to cut mesh and be social here in just a minute. I thought we'd mix it up tonight. If it was the same all the time, I got to keep y'all on your toes, right? All right. Now that we got our pipe cleaners on, are y'all ready to socialize for a minute? Because here we go. We're going to socialize for a minute, and then we're going to get into full tutorial mode. Okay. So, all right. So we only need 16 pieces of mesh. So because we only need 16 pieces of mesh, for thickness and fullness, I'm going to cut this 22 inches long. All right. Now I'm questioning, did I put the right inch mark in my scrolling? Did I? Did I? I'm looking. I don't think I did. I did not. Let me change that, folks. My bad. There we go. Now it's got the right inches. Sorry about that. Quick little change. Kind of good to make this change because I have worn out my cutting mat at 20 inches. How is everybody doing tonight? Everybody having a good day? Is the weather warming up where you're at, except for where Laurie's at? We're not talking to her because it's freezing. We already know she's had a snowstorm. But for the rest of us having pleasant weather. Sorry, Laurie. Always keep in mind, I pick back. Fair enough, Laurie. Fair enough. Fair enough. I've earned this gray hair, believe it or not. Fair and square. Alright, so we can socialize a little bit while I ruffle these in. Y'all, just a quick tip. Before you go ruffling, open up your ties. It makes your life easier. And by the way, for those of you that do craft shows and you're looking to decorate your booth, this is quick and easy as well. For that little bit of decoration to put on your craft show booth. And the bonus is if you have a sign, The holes, you can hang your sign from this, plus have a decoration. It's a plus plus situation, y'all. So we're just doing just a slight little roll, just to roll our ends in. Nothing major. Yep, you can put it on the front of your table. But it's going to be so cute when you're done. Just be prepared to sell it. Okay, don't get attached. One thing I want y'all to keep in mind, especially if you do craft shows and you think, well, garlands are a Christmas thing. Maybe that's true, okay? Some people like to decorate their fireplaces. This is good for a fireplace front. But also, for those of you that do craft shows, if you show a garland even this time of year, okay, make sure you take your business cards and whatnot. It could amp up your business at Christmas, okay? Showing your work is showing your work. Showing your work, sometimes, you know, if you do craft shows, if you carry pictures and stuff like that, you should have a portfolio for people to flip through. But seeing is believing. So doing something like this is just an awesome idea if you do craft shows. Because I like it looking all fluffy and it's pretty flat. I like the roll that goes with it. See, look. See how it rolls on the outside and it gets all fluffy? If I was to flip my mesh over like this, it flattens it out. It doesn't give the same appearance. When using a flat frame, it's different than using a raised form, okay? Rolling your mesh up this way is going to help give your ribbon more life, okay? Think about your ribbon in this case, especially when using Unique in the Creek boards, because most people do just use ribbon on the Unique in the Creek boards. It's kind of like your florals. When you use florals, you want your florals to look alive. In this case, it's our ribbon that we're using, and we want it to have life. Anytime I'm quiet is a good time for you to ask questions, y'all. I understand there's a lot of people that are like that. Let go. All right, so this is with the mesh and everything. It's like 36 inches long before with the mesh. The board length by itself is 25 inches. Okay, so that added 10 inches to it with the mesh. Okay, everybody with me so far? Okay, so we cut our ribbon tails 14 inches. The reason I cut the ribbon tails 14 inches is because we want the extra length. And by the way, if you want to add just a little extra length, what you can do, because I got 2 extra pieces of mesh, we'll do it and I'll show you. How about that? On the end of the board, if you want just a little extra length, and I'll flip this over in just a second to show you where I put the pipe cleaner and how I did it. And this is going to add just about 1 inch. It's not going to add much. Just a little bit. You can put a piece of mesh on the very end, like so. It thickens it up a little bit, especially if you're going to do what I do And it gives a little bit more support for the bow that I'm going to add. So it goes from being 36 inches to 38 inches. I do not heat seal mesh. I just never got into that because I don't do enough flowers. And doing this technique, rolling it up, it's kind of extra time spent for no reason. Okay, see how that looks? It kind of ruffled the end up like that. So you can do that. All right, for those of you that want to reference back before I put the ribbon on, to the tie placement, there you go. Get your little screenshot. I know some of y'all do that for reference back later on. This ribbon is just gorgeous. I love the stripes. I'm a huge fan of stripes, y'all. My furniture in my house, I have black and white stripes. That's how much of a fan I am. I went out and I had 2 chairs upholstered, custom upholstered with black and white stripe. So as you can see, going every 3rd hole is plenty. The ribbon's going to be close enough. The mesh is close enough. I'm just going to go back and fix my ribbon in a minute. I'm going to quit messing with it like that. Michael's is going to have the large, excuse me, Hobby Lobby is going to have the large boards. I feel like I'm being too quiet tonight. Let me see. Oh, I took Tiffany prom shopping the other day. Well, let me give y'all a tip. If you want Hobby Lobby to carry all the boards, y'all, when they're released in the stores, y'all need to run out and buy as many boards as you can. Everybody needs to go out and buy a large board from Hobby Lobby. Make them want to carry more of Laurie's boards, y'all. By the way, I'm just going to tell y'all kind of like the guideline for cutting your ribbon tails. Okay? Really quick, because a lot of people don't talk about there's actually a guideline. Now, I say guidelines because I don't believe there are rules to designing. I believe there's some guidelines to get you started, okay? Creativity, when you have creativity, there's no rules, okay? Now, here's your guideline. Typically, so my mesh is 10 inches. To get my ribbon tails to show up, you need to cut your ribbon a minimum of 12 inches. So 2 inches more than what your mesh is. Now, when I do 21-inch mesh and I do poofs, I cut my ribbon tails, I poof my mesh 12 inches, so I cut my ribbon tails 14 inches. Okay? Now, if I was just going to do ribbon on this, I would cut my ribbon tails 12 inches. Because, okay? Now, there's a reason for that. Because when a lot of people don't know this, and I can tell they don't know this when I see them doing things, is they don't realize that if you're not going to put anything in to support your ribbon when you cut it 14 inches, okay, it will wilt down. Okay, with 14 inches, that's actually a lot of weight to the ribbon. Now, the wire is a great support, but keep in mind, it is fabric. And fabric, once it gets moist, if it's outdoors, okay, it's going to get moist. It can't help that. There's moisture in the air. And it will literally start, okay, to wilt down under the weight. And a lot of people don't realize that because 14 inches, and then you've got your tip, it's just going to weigh down. All right? So if you're just doing ribbon tails, that's fine, but they only need to be 12 inches because then with that 12 inches, your mesh will catch the ribbon tail. Everybody understand what I'm saying? The two boards are zip tied together. See, a lot of people don't know this, but before I sell a wreath with, like, if I think of a new technique or something like that, it actually hangs on my own door for 6 months. 6 months testing how that technique is going to work. I don't just go woof and spoof it out there, because the thing is that when people are watching, they're kind of depending on us for extremely accurate information. So I want to make sure that all the information that I put out there is accurate. And I want to make sure that I have a good product because I sell wreaths. Somehow I didn't count right. That's okay. I just need 2 more pieces of the lemon. They were on top of each other, Tina. I stacked them on top of each other, row A and J, and used 3 zip ties. You need to stack them for the stability. Miss Kathy, I'm actually been very fortunate because I live in Podunk. Okay, in case y'all didn't know, I live in a very, very, very small town. I live in rural America, and I'm an hour away from Hobby Lobby, Michael's, and things like that. So I'm very fortunate that my Walmart has a pretty good floral game. Okay, let me see something real quick. Okay, so there seems to be a little confusion, and I want to clear this up just really quick to make sure everybody understood what I did. So I've got 2 more rail boards here. Okay, if you do these end to end, which is fine, okay? However, if you do them end to end, what ends up happening is the zip ties it'll teeter and it'll fold in half, which is good if you want to store this. For those that want to store this, if you want them to fold in half, that's fine. Okay? But for stability, and the reason I say stability is because when you're selling a product, especially at a craft show, you do not want it to look like it's not a good product. Okay. So that's why I choose to overlap the two boards just on the very end. Now, I'm sure that you could explain to your customer the reason that it folds in half, okay? The only problem is depends on the design. I'm putting my sign directly in the middle, so I don't want it to fold in half, okay? And also, when the customers, I don't want them to think they broke it. So that's what we did. We overlapped the boards, as you can see, and used zip ties so that it would be one stable piece. All right? Because, and I want to make sure that y'all understand this, what I'm doing. I don't want you to be confused. So I'm going to take this apart real quick. I have thousands upon thousands of zip ties. So if it goes end to end, it ends up flopping. Y'all see that? And guess what? When it flops, here's another problem with it when it flops. Okay, it's going to wear down the integrity of your zip tie because it's rubbing, y'all. And what happens when something rubs? All right. Also, it's kind of like if your customer picks it up and they think they broke it, you may have lost the sale because then you're having to explain why it is and flipping it over, and you'll lose your customer just on explanation alone, especially at a live craft sale. Most people think that if they broke it, they just kind of want to duck and run away. They're embarrassed. Okay? So everybody understand? Are we back on the same page now? Okay. While you are shopping at Hobby Lobby or on Amazon, I prefer Amazon because you can get your pack. Okay, I bought these off of Amazon and it came in a 4-pack. This is eucalyptus vine, y'all. And it came in a 4-pack for $8. So I got 4 of them for $8. I want to show you that real quick. Right, Sean? Yeah. Okay, so what we're going to do is I want to add some greenery, so we're just going to use this eucalyptus. Now, it's got this long part down here. I'm going to cut that off. Okay? And we're just going to use, like I said, this is one of the reasons I kind of like using pipe cleaners, because it kind of gives me the freedom to tie stuff in as I go, as I create. So I'm just going to kind of tie this in. Now, I'm not going to tie it in straight because then it doesn't come out past my ribbon. It stays too much toward the center, and I don't want it to stay toward the center. I want it to come out. So I'm kind of like draping it along. Now, this is definitely not something that you have to do with your kit. It will look just great with just the ribbon and mesh. But y'all know me, I kind of like to amp things up a little bit and make you think outside the box with just a couple of dollars. I don't have one. Shame on me. I think there's a hook in this one, and that's kind of where we're going to end this one, which is good. All right. And then we're going to come over and just grab another piece. So basically, I got 4 pieces for $8. So we're just going to add with this eucalyptus garland, just $4 in greenery. Yeah, that's where I got these, was on Amazon. Now, don't worry, I'll go back and fix my ribbon here in a minute. Because I know how some of y'all, you're like, Jackie, you're just covering the ribbon up. Yeah, kind of at the moment. All right. Everybody with me so far? I'm not worried about this side over here, y'all, because I'm going to put a bow here and a bow there. So I'm not worried that there's no eucalyptus here. All right. Okay, let's put our flip-flops on. Hello, Dre. How are you this evening? All right, so what I want to do, y'all, for this sign, for me, there's not enough cable tie mounts, which is fine. But what I want to do is I want to make sure that I'm going to line up with my holes because, like, look, I don't want to just put 2 holes and then my sign is going whoop, 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 whoop. So I'm going to put 4 holes and 4 pipe cleaners because of how I'm going to put my sign on. If I was doing this like in a Garland, or excuse me, a swag, I would just put 2 holes, top and bottom, and that would be fine. But because we're going side to side because of how we're hanging the flip-flops, I just want to line my holes up because I don't want to be that far off. Does that make sense? Now, because I'm using black pipe cleaners, I made sure to punch my hole right on the black stripe so my pipe cleaners wouldn't be noticeable. All right. Let me make this quick, so let me go ahead and get my tool out instead of searching for the holes. How about that? I won't make y'all suffer tonight. I'll just go ahead and say, hey, use your tool, Jackie. Everybody with me so far? Anybody concerned about this vast amount of white mesh right here? I gotta see. Are anybody concerned yet? A little, yes. So some of y'all have faith in me and some of y'all are just a little nervous. Okay. Now that we're there, look, y'all. Another little trick, believe it or not, moving your ribbon will greatly change the appearance of your wreath. Okay? And I kind of want to show you really quick an example so that you understand how it can change the ribbon appearance of your wreath. Okay? Typically, if people they use a 1.5 and a 2.5 ribbon, they automatically layer it this way just because this is the smaller ribbon, right? So even if you layered it this way, you're still covering up a ribbon. And I want to show y'all something, because the 2.5 becomes the dominant ribbon, not just because it's bigger, because it's actually on top. And I can show you the same thing, but I don't think I have a 1.5 on hand. But whatever ribbon's on top, even if they're matching 1.5 ribbon, whichever one's on top is going to become the dominant ribbon that you see. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're just going to pull some of our ribbon to the center. Thank you, babe. Okay, so my husband went and got me a 1.5 so I can show y'all.
Not the right color. But...
It doesn't matter. Okay, so look, check this out. So here, when you go, and you're going to pull your ribbons apart, look. Because this one's on top, notice it's the dominant ribbon. Believe it or not, so I just kind of want to show you how the eye is trained. It's because it's on top, it's the dominant ribbon. Okay? So if you flip it, and I'm doing this off camera for a reason. So if you put it on top, even your eye shows that one is the dominant ribbon. Notice how the appearance of my wreath is changing. As I move the ribbon for you. Just me moving the ribbon is even making the wreath look fuller, right? Teresa, I assure you, if it looked plastic, I wouldn't be using it. I can't stand greenery like that. Absolutely cannot. All right, y'all. Now, you can leave it like this. You don't have to put any bows on it or anything. Because look, it looks just fine, y'all. It looks just fine. You know what, actually, I'm going to show you how to finish this without doing any big bows. Because not everybody can make a bow. And I couldn't make a bow when I first started. And I didn't let that defeat me. So I'm going to show y'all my little trick. And I sold a ton of wreaths when I first started just doing this without making a big bow. Especially for those of you that are buying these kits as hobbies and you don't have the bow makers and whatnot. I will spit the words out of my mouth eventually. All right, So what we're going to do is I'm going to take my 1.5 inch ribbon, my lemon ribbon, and we're just going to cut this 22 inches. Now, believe it or not, when you're doing a garland and you're doing a left to right thing, which is what you're doing with a garland, you do function in even numbers. It's okay. When you're doing a wreath, you do odd numbers, but when you're doing a garland, because you are doing a left to right, you function in even numbers. And so we're going to take our 2.5 and we're going to cut 4 of those. And we're going to cut those 22 inches. All right, now what I used to do, and I'm going to tell y'all this, the reason I used to do this, and also, people wonder how to pair up their ribbons, so I'm going to teach you a trick to pair up your ribbons, okay? Because a lot of people are like, I don't know what colors go together, I don't know what patterns go together. So take your ribbon, don't cut it first, but stack it up like this. Okay, roll it out, stack it up like this, and then look. If when you're done, that's a ribbon you buy, then it's a good combination. All right, let me show you another example real quick so you understand what I'm saying, because that's kind of no-brainer. You got it together, but let me go grab another roll of ribbon real quick. Be right back. All right. So like I said, this is what you do. And this will help you put your ribbons together. Roll out your ribbon like this. This is my 2.5. And then I'll overlap it with my 1.5 like so. And if I would buy the ribbon, you know, pretend like this is one solid ribbon in this combination, then it's a win-win. Okay, but for this, we're going to stack our ribbon, y'all, and we're just going to make, and this is like the Jackie bow. We're just going to fold it over, okay? And this is how I used to make bows and put bows in my wreaths. It's actually pretty simple, because when I first started, I couldn't make a bow to save my life, y'all. And then when you're doing a garland, do the same thing on the left side that you did on the right side, vice versa. Now, as you can see, I didn't have to go through the trouble of making a fancy bow, and I still made an impact by making smaller, just simple, they're called Jackie bows. That's actually what they're called. It's called a Jackie bow. And then this one, we're just going to catty corner up here. Oh, my pleasure, y'all. Okay, so I want to show you one more trick. Do y'all have any like leftover Easter eggs from Walmart that you bought? Perception is everything, right? How you perceive something. So depending on how I put this in the wreath, if I put it this way, it looks like an Easter egg, right? If I put it just straight down, it just looks round, right? I'm not sure if this one's going to come apart when I do this, y'all. It might. We'll see here in a second. I'm concerned about this covering coming off, but it looks like it's glued on. And it didn't come off. Now, I'm using the smaller end. I'll save my bow for something else, but I'm using the smaller end. Now, doesn't that look like a lemon? And then you can save this end for a larger lemon if you want to. you can just cut them straight in half. So I just kind of want to make sure these are about the same size. All right, so now, later on, I've actually made myself 2 lemons, maybe 4. I am going to use the lemon picks too. I just wanted to show y'all something nifty. Okay. And I, for some reason, have a ton of felt around. You can buy felt in the sheets. Okay. So what I'm going to do really, really quick. And I just now plugged my hot glue gun in, y'all. So we're going to move on to the other lemons while my hot glue gun warms up. How about that? Now, keep in mind, whatever you do to the right, you want to do to the left. That is just the nature of doing garlands, right? And I think because these are smaller than what I'm going to add, I want to put them at the bottom. And because I have 3 of them. I originally intended to make a swag, so that's why I ordered just only 3 of them. If I had planned on making a garland, I would have ordered 4 of these. But I just ordered 3. Oopsie, my bad. But I want to use every one of them. So I'm going to the pick looks orange now. All right, Grandma Moses, heat up. I think it's time for me to get a new hot glue gun, y'all. Heat up glue gun. Work with me here, glue gun. Work with me. Right? Do you know what? I had a cheap one from Walmart for like years. Years. I bought a DeWalt, y'all. I bought a really expensive one. And it lasted like 2 months. My cheap one lasted for years. Alright, so we're just putting this felt on the back, and that's just to stop the styrofoam from coming out. So we're just going to trim around that. Don't knock those El Cheapos. Sometimes the El Cheapo stuff doesn't last. You get what you pay for. Old saying, and sometimes it lasts. I tell you what, let me give a quick look. How about that? Let me give a quick look to my Amazon purchases. They've gone up in price, y'all. I'm sorry. They now have a 2-pack for $7.99. That kind of like, I hate that. That puts egg on my face. All right. So what I'm going to do to add these is I'm going to get my elusive ice pick out. It's a jewelry hole punch. You can get it at Hobby Lobby or Walmart over in the jewelry making stuff. Okay. I really want to put these up here. Let me flip this around. We're going to flip this around because I really want to put these at the top because they're bigger. Nobody's gonna know but y'all that this was an Easter egg, right? Now that I got that in there, can anybody tell me that was an Easter egg? Except for the fact that you saw me do it? Actually, I'm using a yarn needle. The reason I use a yarn needle because it kind of hooks a little bit better than a crochet hook. It kind of does the same thing, but the yarn needle, because it goes through, I don't have to worry about my pipe cleaner unhooking. And then I just fold my pipe cleaner in half and pull it through. my next trick for y'all. Okay. Because we're going to put this on the other side, I don't want it to come out. Okay. I'm going to take and I'm going to fold the pick itself over and make a hook. I'm making my own hook to tie this into the wreath. And then that way I don't have to worry about it sliding out. See? It's in there, y'all. And if you want to back it with a little bit of hot glue just to be warm and fuzzy, that's kind of up to you. And then once you're done, get it ready for its close-up. Go in and fix all your ribbon. How long have I been doing this? 15 years, just over 15 years. And that's basically just like the wreaths. I've been crafting for a long time. I started out making quilts and stuff. That's been 18 years that I've been quilting, working with fabric, sewing, things like that. So I've been doing that for 18 years. And then I was just fascinated with mesh. So that kind of took off from there. But I'm telling y'all, like, right now, I'm trying to go back to the things that I used to do. Because when I first started my business, I didn't have anything fancy. I didn't have a pick machine. It was just me and like a hot glue gun, right? And so that's all I had. You know, I didn't even have a metal hole punch. Believe it or not, what I used to do is drill holes in my sign. Okay, so evolving forward, now I have like a ton of tools. But I realize a lot of you don't want to invest in those tools because you're doing this at home for a wreath to put on your door. Not everybody's doing this for a business like I do. So I'm going back to a lot of the stuff that I used to do and showing y'all all the tricks that I learned all along the way to not invest in a ton of tools. Yes, I am from Kentucky, and I got to show y'all something cool before I get off of here. I just want to show y'all something cool that I did here recently. Check that out, y'all. And it's got little gems on the peacock. So just for the record, I don't teach just wreaths anymore. I teach how to make wreath attachments as well, and I do that in my private group. So we do so much more in my private group now than just make wreaths. I show how to make wreath attachments and things like that. What are my plans? It's gonna go in it'll go in a wreath. I mean, I've already had people wanting to buy those, so I'll be making them and selling them too. So what do y'all think of that? Super easy. Garland. I think if you didn't want to put it outside on your door, put it in your house, kind of spruce up your kitchen or whatever. What do y'all think? Like I said, if you want to get 2 kits, you can make a garland, and you can also make a swag to match if you just get 2 kits. All right. Thank y'all for joining me and hanging out. I hope y'all really enjoyed this. I always enjoy hanging out with y'all. And just for the record, these are lightweight to hang. I forgot to show y'all that because a lot of people were like, well, how would you hang it? I'm just going to be honest, because this is lightweight. That's the one thing I forgot. Because this is actually like super, super lightweight. I'm using a tinsel tie because they just tie better and hold better. You can use a larger zip tie to do this. I've kind of ran low on my larger zip ties, which is fine. But I'm just going to wrap this and make sure. And then you just want to shorten this according to how it's going to hang. You know, you can shorten it down even further to where it goes here. However you want to do it, or just a zip tie. But that's all it really takes to hang it, just like you would a wreath, either by zip tie or pipe cleaner, however you choose to do. Okay, because it is lightweight. All right. And because it's rigid, unlike, you know, like if you use like a regular garland, you need the support, because if you take a regular garland, evergreen garland, and you try to, it's just going to wilt down. So you can just use one nail. That's the advantage, because people don't like putting nails on the wall, so you can just use one nail to hang it. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out. Y'all have a great evening, and I will see y'all next week. Same time, same channel. Bye, y'all.